I'm neurodivergent, and somebody was talking recently, I forgot where I saw it, but they were saying, like, neurodivergent people need a lot of context, apparently, which is why we need things to be very literal and explanatory, but I noticed that my context actually doesn't look like I need a ton of extra detail, or I need to share all this information so that people have context. Actually, sometimes I can't do that. Sometimes I can over-explain a bit. But a lot of the times my context, like the way I need to contextualize the world, is through like symbolism, is through metaphor. Because if I don't have a context to compare it to, if I don't have an example, if I don't have a way to frame like what I'm looking at, it does not make sense. I need it to be phrased in a familiar way, in a familiar context, and I can understand complexities and all of those like underlying layers, but it needs to be in a form that I can identify with. And a lot of the world speaks in very like linear, very logical, very like defined terms. And like I do a lot of research to try to understand the world in general, but the best time that I have the best conversations, the best time that I'm most myself, that I can communicate as clearly, that I can understand and take in information as clearly, is when they're given through context, through double meaning, through metaphor, through like feeling based communication, like intuitive language. I need that context, and the world that we live in is deeply deprived of that, at least the world that I live in. And so I tend to take a longer time to absorb certain information because I haven't found the right frame or context to view it in. And that's also why it takes me a long time to know what I'm feeling, know like how I feel about a situation. Like I can feel it on an internal level, but I don't have context for it. And that also makes me a little bit kind of uncomfortable and stressed out because I want to know the meaning. I want to have the clarity. And if I don't have the clarity, I get stressed out because I'm often in a state of just trying to absorb information in a world that does not make it easy for me, because there is a literal kind of like language barrier for the context in which I need information to be shared. And I don't know that a lot of neurodivergent people can relate to that, because I know that a lot of people who are neurodivergent typically have the more like linear, logical brain structure, probably also to kind of cope with the overwhelmingness of the world. But I kind of leaned in the exact other direction, and I need metaphor as context. And I'm just curious if anyone like does relate with that, or please just like share your thoughts. I'm curious.